Welcome, people of the internet, to Impress Me, a new first impressions critique video on upcoming video games from me, Razel, on this dear channel of mine and Razer's. Today we'll be looking at Super Toy Cars for the Xbox One, a kart racer slash micro machines kind of game. If you think you've heard of the game before, I didn't know this at first, but it turns out it's already on PC and Wii U. It used to be an early access game, but came out sometime last year on both platforms that came out officially. There are some features in those versions that are lacking in this version, and we will talk about those as we go on. But right now, we should get to the game after I mute the television. Otherwise, you'll hear the game twice. Anyway, let's go right in. If it decides it wants to. Okay. This hasn't happened before. Alright, now we're in. You'll probably hear some music in the background. I'm gonna have to turn that off because I think everything is licensed. So, might as well talk about the options menu right now. I turned the sound effects down, but I didn't turn the music down. So you got car sound effects and crashes and parrots and stuff. The sound effects in this game aren't that good, but some people really hate the music as well, but I think the music is very jolly. Sadly, I can't show you much of it because otherwise I get a copyright strike. The game has two languages. It has English and Spanish. And the camera, there are three options. There is far camera, which is your generic close camera, which is your generic GTA style, maybe blur camera point. Top down camera, micro machines. And then there's the far camera, which is like close camera, but obviously further away. I prefer close camera. It was on far camera because I decided that it would be a good idea to record this earlier, but my camera decided that it didn't want to live. So you have a couple of options for the main menu. In the extras, you got the tutorial. That is like 3 minutes long. You got credits, just your standard credit scene. And white progress, which we're not going to demonstrate because that'll delete all of the data on the game. You got quick race, which you get to use all the tracks. They're all unlocked from the get-go, so if you just want to play this, then that's fine. You can choose the different types of modes. You got normal race, you got elimination, you got time trial, you got evade, which is a pain in the dick hole. You got time attack, which is drive to checkpoints within the time limit. It's fairly generic. You got medium, hard, easy difficulties. Say we choose this. This is the 4-player multiplayer, which we'll get onto later, or I sadly can't show you any, because I have no friends. And then there's the career mode, which the cars and upgrades are under. I think, I'll check this right now. I think all the cars in a quick race, they're all unlocked straight away, I think. In the career, you have to do races to get credits to unlock the cars. And they all have paint jobs and colors and stuff that you can unlock by winning races. You can also upgrade cars. This one isn't fully upgraded. I bought this to show a problem with the game. While I was recording the video before. But I'll just talk about it after that. So, this is the fastest car in the game. It turns out the fastest car in the game isn't hard to get. I've played quite a few hours of this game, but after I bought like 2 or 3 cars, I realized that I would be able to buy the first car by just completing a couple of the episodes that the game chucks you. Oh, fuck. This is the hardest episode in the game that I haven't played yet. Sorry if you can hear the controller. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna die already. Well, that's not good. It turns out this game has a little bit of challenge that it likes to throw in near the end. You may also notice that as I'm driving, well, as I'm holding the accelerator on the start line, I'm moving slowly forwards. I talked to the developer about this. If you don't press anything, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you will go, you'll start moving backwards for no apparent reason. The developer claims that the cars restart themselves just before the race starts, but I've seen no evidence of that, as you probably just saw in the video. I was moving forward and I wasn't set backwards. But there's supposed to be a day one patch, so maybe it'll get ironed out by that. I'm recording this 2 days before release. I've had it for a number of days. I've played quite a bit of it. I've unlocked the majority. I've unlocked all the episodes. I haven't played through all of them. The handling in this game right now, with this is the last car that you can unlock. It feels very slick. I'm moving at a decent pace. The enemies are putting up a considerable amount of effort compared to what they will at the start of the game. When you first start Super Toy Cars, you have like a Volkswagen Beetle. That's what the starting car resembles. That's what it's supposed to be. And that, when I was playing as that car, the handling wasn't great. It felt like this is a toy box racer. It's based in a... Wait, what? What the fuck? Game third? Okay. So this is based in the toy box. A pretty, if this was my house and I was playing with these toy cars, you got quite a budget. You play as a rich kid, obviously. But it literally felt like a child was holding down the car and pushing it along the track. There was a weird sense of magnetism to the center of the track, and it felt like it was going. It kept trying to push me back towards the center, which it made it a bit easy, but it also made it a bit aggravating. So the object of this game is obviously to win all the races, but certain mechanics that I probably should talk about is the boost. You hold down A to... Oh, fuck. The meter at the top next to the position counter is your boost bar. You gain boost for things like gaining air and like you'll see now. If you get air, you get boost. If you drift like this, you get boost. There's also a power-up that will get you boost. Boost is very important to the game. However, when you buy cars and upgrade cars, there are numerous attributes, statistics, I should say, that go into the car itself. There is acceleration, top speed, handling, braking, boost, and drifting. The first car that you get, again, drifting in that car is awful. It doesn't feel nice at all. What is it? Oh, this is the checkpoint time trial thing. It doesn't feel nice. And I was in that car for like a good 1.5 episodes of the game, until I thought, oh fuck this, I'll just buy a new car. And the next car that I bought, the drifting in it was nice and it felt good to drift around corners. It wasn't like it didn't feel like you had to put a metric shit ton of effort into when you need a break, when you need to start drifting, which the Fierce car does. It doesn't drift very well, and while you can upgrade it, which I did, it still doesn't feel that nice to drive in particular. Next car I got, it wasn't as fast, but because I could drift better, I could get boost faster, and I could get around the tracks faster. And sometimes there were boost power-ups, so I would drift around the corners, I would get all the boost, I would go in air and get boost, and then I'd boost really fast until I got the boost power-up, and then I'd use all my boost again, and then I'd be like, I'd lap people. That's a lie, I wouldn't lap people because I'm not good enough at the game. And you may notice, even like for a driver like me, I'm really terrible at driving games. Watch my Sleeping Dogs video to see how bad I am at driving in video games. This does handle well if you've got the right vehicle. If you don't have the right vehicle, then it's not going to play particularly well. And getting the right vehicle isn't very difficult, as I'll show you at the end of this race. Because every time you win a race, you get credits. The further on in the game, the more credits you get. Like, how much will I get at the end of this? Probably a lot. Let's have a look. I get 15,000 credits for this. That's actually been the standard for quite a while. So I've got 113,000 credits. This is the fastest car so far. It's not as, I wouldn't say it's as good as the one that I've got now. I've got the fastest car in the game. This only cost about 85,000 credits. And because at certain points there'll be a massive difficulty spike in the middle of an episode, or when you're in between, when you get on to the next episode, you'll need to buy a new car. So if you don't have the credits, you'll go back and do another episode. By the time you redo that episode, you have the money to buy the fastest car in the game. You don't need to buy another car apart from this. And I'll show you the upgrade system now, because I'm pretty sure the more expensive the car, the more expensive the upgrades. But you just find a part that you want, buy it, and you can probably see this gives me 15 plus acceleration, and does that take away my drift? So I'm not going to get that because I like drifting in this game. So this is actually, I think that's the first time I've ever seen the game take away points for stuff. If it has before, I've never seen it before. Let's try a hard race. Oh shit, I just chose a random car. So, because I'm not quite familiar with the names, I chose this. This wasn't a good idea. See, you see me moving backwards at the start of a race, and it's only in some cars, and it's only in some tracks. Now, I've been playing this game. I got it like 5 days before release. I'm recording this 2 days before release. Actually, that means I probably got it quite a while before 5 days before release. It comes out on the 4th. I'm recording on the 2nd. Fuck. This is actually quite difficult. And I've spent quite a lot of time with it. I emailed the developer about bugs because he said there was a patch coming up, and he did actually patch the game a couple of days ago, and there was a massive problem with collision detection. There is, if I can remember which race it is, I will show you. I think it might be this one. There's a ramp. There was a ramp. Oh, it wasn't this, I don't think. Oh, actually, it might be. there was a ramp, and you would go over it, and then you would land, and you'd land perfectly, but the game would think that you crashed, and it would just reset you. And that's another one of the problems I have with this game. It wasn't this map, but the game resets you far too much. If you crash into a wall, like yeah, let's like, if I crash into this wall, it'll reset me. And when you're playing this game in multiplayer with fast cars, when you drive the fast cars in this game can be pretty enjoyable. When you play with 4 people in fast cars, I guarantee it'll be enjoyable, especially if you're playing with like younger siblings or even your children. Oh, that was really quick. Actually, we could probably do that faster, but because my little brother, he liked this game. He thought it was pretty enjoyable. But which fucking one was it? I think we just did that one. But the problem with this game is, as a party game, you get all these power-ups and stuff. Every time you crash, you reset. The game decides to fade your screen to black, and then it'll take control. It'll put you back in a safe place. Sometimes it'll put you, like, your invincibility frames will run out, and you'll get rammed by an enemy. And the problem with it resetting you all the time is that it's got a reverse button. You will never ever use it. You'll never use it at all. Because the game will reset you whenever it thinks that you're doing badly. If I was to crash again, it would just set me back, instead of letting me reverse and try again from my own starting point. Which I get why the developers did it, because they just want to get you back in the action. But most of the time, it feels like it would be quicker for me to just reverse than let the developer send me back to where it let the game send me back to where it wants me to be. And there are some buttons on the controller that they never even use. Like, they don't use RB for anything, as far as I can tell. So RB would have been like a reset button. If you've crashed and you're like, it should know that if you've crashed into something and you feel like you're doing badly and you want to reset, then it should let you choose to reset. It should be an element of player choice. I'm doing quite badly. And it disconnects you when you're getting reset all the time. When there are missions where there are mines everywhere, I think the developer in their patch removed a couple of them and replaced them with ordinary races, which while it does kill a bit of the variety, thank God he did, because those mine races are the most aggravating things on the planet. Sometimes they can be quite fun when you're ducking and weaving and watching the AI get demolished by them. And if you're playing with a friend or with a sibling, then watching them like crash into a mine and then you overtake them is just hilarious, and you love it. But it makes you feel powerful and skilled that you can avoid them, and your siblings can't, and you're like, ha ha ha, who's the best now? But it would be better if you could just reset when you wanted to. Okay then. Alright, sorry for that. Another problem, well, it's not really a problem, but another issue that I have with this game is that this game's been out for a year on other platforms. On the Wii U and on the PC, on Steam. the Wii U and PC versions have 8-player online multiplayer, and they also have a track editor. The developer, when I asked him about the track editor and if he plans to, achievement, and if he plans to bring it over to the Xbox One version of the game, he said that the Xbox One doesn't really have an interface for a track editor, which I think is not completely true. I don't want to call the developer a liar. I mean, it obviously is harder to make tracks with a controller versus a keyboard or mouse, or the drag and drop touchscreen that the... Oh no, it's a mine level that the Wii U has. I mean, it's obviously going to be more complicated, but there's no... that doesn't mean it can't work. We have Trials Fusion, we have Halo Forge, and those are map editors and content creators, and those work perfectly fine. If I could think of more examples, then I would certainly list them, but those are two grade A content creators. Little Big Planet works on a PS3 and PS4. There's no reason why they couldn't make the track editor work. And, you know, I think they charge about the same for this version as they do for the PC version, which isn't much. It's like, I think £6. 6 quid. Maybe $7.99. I think that's how the Xbox store works. But, you know, if this had a track editor, if this had online multiplayer, this would be a pretty decent purchase, especially if you have younger siblings or if you have children. Because this game isn't terrible as long as you, like, it's not bad if you have, like, a faster car. If you don't have that first car, which, those skin marks actually look quite nice. I like them. Like this map is actually one of my favorites. It's really nice looking. Like while the Wii U version doesn't look nowhere near as good as this. Like the specular lighting, the resolution, the frame rate isn't even as good on the Wii U. This version is hard to recommend if you have a PC and a Wii U, especially because the Wii U and PC have the definitive version of the game, apart from looks if you go to the Wii U. Like, if you have a Wii U, this is obviously going to be more value because there is more stuff to do. You have the online multiplayer, you have the track editor. So there's no way that I would recommend this over the Wii U version if you have both consoles. Unless, of course, you don't like the Wii U and are planning to get rid of your Wii U, then that would be a pretty decent reason for me to recommend this. And the truth is, I think I would recommend this game if you have someone to play it with. If you don't have a younger brother or sister or child that would appreciate this game, because when you think about the Xbox One, you look at the lineup of games. If you're a child, then all you've got is Lego and Skylanders and Disney Infinity. Another thing. Show replay. Photo mode. Alright. This is the photo mode. Ooh, that's some screen tearing. I don't know if that'll come up on recording. Oh god, the screen tearing is really bad. This is the photo mode. It doesn't tell you the controls for the photo mode. I'm still not aware of what the controls are. It feels kind of iffy to control. But if you like taking photos of your cars, I mean, now that Xbox does have a screenshot thing. Oh, it's X to get rid of that. It never tells you. But you know, there is a photo mode for you to take pictures. So save screenshot. And there you go. You can upload pictures. I probably shouldn't have done that because embargo date isn't. Oh, that's nice. See the. Ooh, it's not focusing properly. But the detail on these isn't 100% great. Actually, I'd like to see how far up we can get. Let's see. Ooh, like look how nice this looks. This track, when the lighting works, sorry, when the lighting works and when you're going across it at a high speed, this looks nice. That ceiling does not. But this doesn't look half bad. What they want, like, the game is advertised as a Micro Machines inspired game. If you don't know what Micro Machines is, Micro Machines plays like this. Micro Machines is top-down, fast-paced, which, when you get the right car, this game can be fast-paced. This map, which is my favorite map, doesn't play well as a Micro Machines because there is stuff that gets in your way, as you probably saw, and I had no idea where I was going because of that. There is stuff that gets in your way, and the game is just a lot more appealing to look at up close. When you're driving like this, you get a better sense of the atmosphere of the game and the world that the developer has obviously created. And I know I may be rambling a bit. This video is probably nearing the half an hour mark, so I should stop soon, which I will. So I'll probably give my final verdict on this game. Now, this is not a review series. This is a first impression series. And while I have nearly completed the game, I've played quite a lot of it, which is probably why I would recommend it if you had a member of the younger demographic in your family that would play it. If it's just for you, if you're older and you like the look of the game, like, don't shy off because it's obviously a kid's game. I still play the Lego games because those are fun. But if you have a Wii U, get it on that. It's got a track editor. If you don't, and you like the look of this game, or you've got a younger sibling that would play the game with you and would enjoy playing this game, then get it on the Xbox One. I would recommend, if you have the specs, to get the game on PC, because obviously the PC version, call me PC Master Race if you will, but the PC version is obviously the definitive version, because you can faster frame rate, probably more optimized since it went through early access, and track editor, online multiplayer. With Hamachi, you could probably host your own server, I don't know. So, get it on PC. If not that, get it on Wii U. If not that, get it on Xbox One. It's a decent-ish game that is quite cheap, especially on Wii U and PC. I'm not 100% sure of the price point for this, but I'm guessing it would be between £5 and £8, or your regional equivalent. So, that's been Super Toy Cars. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.